What's up, everybody? Part-time gamer dad here. Good news, this is the last video with this Razer Kaio Pro. And what a great way to end it by reviewing the Super Mario Bros. Movie. I went into this movie with probably high expectations, probably too high, but I really enjoyed it. I'm a huge Nintendo fan. The Legend of Zelda is my favorite series of all time. The Super Mario Brothers series is in my top 10. I did a video on March 10th, Mario Day, talking just about my memories and experiences with those games. So going into this movie, super high expectations, and here's what I will say. They were met. And if you go into this movie just looking for a fun time, you're going to enjoy yourself. I think it's the people who go into it with a negative impression before you even get to give the movie a chance that are going to walk away with this still with a negative view. And I don't understand that. Like, people talk about Chris Pratt and that they're really frustrated that he voiced Mario when Charles Martinet was right there. You know what? Chris Pratt did great. I'm just going to say it. Like, I think for me, you even forget it's Chris Pratt 10 minutes in, right? So let's just get that out of the way right now. If you're somebody who's going to be negative regardless, just because Chris Pratt's in the movie, like, this probably isn't the video for you. Also, if you're looking to avoid spoilers, probably not the video for you either. I'm going to probably talk on some things that are a little spoilery. Try not to get too spoilery because I want you to go see the movie and enjoy it, but there might be a spoiler here and there, so let's get into it. Now let's start with perhaps a spoiler, but I really don't think it is, and it's about the difference between seeing the Mushroom Kingdom and then seeing like the real world as we know it. And I mean, not necessarily as we know it, but like Mario and Luigi don't live in the Mushroom Kingdom initially, right? Like, they live in New York City. They're plumbers who are trying to really get themselves out there via like TV commercials. They just left their old job so they could like live the dream of starting their own Super Mario Bros. Business. And I really liked that approach to showing us kind of the more like where Mario and Luigi come from, showing their relationship at like a deeper level. It was really awesome to like see Mario and Luigi have that bond beyond just like, oh, they're brothers, but you really got to see like what that meant to each of them. And you got to see this might be a spoiler, like you got to see their family, and you got to see like how Mario and Luigi believe in each other when nobody else does, not even their family. So that was really nice touch. I really liked when they went to, when they traveled through the warp pipe and you kind of got to see like what that really looks like on the inside and like how it works. That was really nice touch. And then Mario coming to the Mushroom Kingdom. It's in the original trailer. We all know it. It's kind of the thing that everybody got upset about initially. And because of Chris Pratt's voice and whatnot. But you know what it did for me? It gave me real like Wizard of Oz vibes, which I really love Wizard of Oz. I think it's an incredible movie. I did the musical of it like a year and a half ago. And when he gets there, there's just this feeling of like magic. And I think that's what this whole movie is about. It's about like magic, and not like, you know, the kind of magic you perform, but just that feeling you get when you're like experiencing something for the first time. And I felt like I was experiencing Mario again for the first time. And whenever he lands a Mushroom Kingdom for the first time, they really amplified that with him interacting with Toad. I thought Toad was a hilarious character. I thought that the jokes that he was making were really spot on. Actually, most of the jokes were really spot on, especially for gamers. Especially of a certain age. There was a blowing into the cartridge joke at one point, which like I thought was hilarious, but the 5-year-old like 4 seats down from me was like, what's happening? And so I think for adults, there is a really good level of humor throughout. There are a few corny jokes, right? But like for the most part, I think if you're a gamer, especially if you're a gamer in your 30s or 40s, like this is a really fun movie and it's funny. One thing I like that they changed is Peach has always been damsel in distress, right? And I think as we progress through the game, she's become more more her own independent. Like, she doesn't need Mario necessarily. She can hold her own, but all she really kind of does is float, right? Floats down. I loved that was not how she was portrayed in this movie at all. She was someone who was very sure of herself. She was very accomplished. She was very independent. She was strong. She didn't need any guy to like step in. And it's not like a statement, right? It's just who she is. And I love that. I do think that some of the plot points in the movie, especially like some of the dialogue and the way they're like building the story was a little rushed, and some of it just didn't translate well for what I think they were going for. It was a 90-minute movie, and I think with 90-minute movies, you can either there's one of three things that happens. You either nail it, right? Like you really identify like what we're going for, and it's really tight, and it's a smooth, well-paced 90 minutes. Then there's the 90-minute movies that don't have any direction, and it's kind of lost, and those are garbage. And then there's movies like this, not necessarily to this end of the spectrum, but like you try to do too much. And I think that Mario and Peach, you see it in their interactions, especially early on, like there's no room for development, especially in that initial conversation. It's like 20 seconds long, and she instantly trusts him, and then they move on. And then you see the relationship develop over time, but like those kind of moments kind of took me out of it to the point I was like, that felt really weird. That felt very unnatural. And granted, it's an animated movie, but at the same time, like I'm not there because I'm thinking that Mario and Peach are gonna like, you know, have a really in-depth conversation. But I would think that they, as two different people from different worlds, trying to understand where each other's coming from and explain like Mario explaining the situation of why he's there and what he's trying to accomplish, is super important. And I would anticipate it would take longer than 10 seconds and a really dumb slow-mo joke. So that was something I kind of had an issue with. There's a scene in the movie pretty shortly after that that feels like a Mario Maker speedrun video, and there's a lot of like Easter eggs like that. I thought the sound design was really fun. If I remember correctly, Luigi's like ringtone on his cell phone was the GameCube like startup sound, and that was just like those touches, like where it's not explicit and it's not like in your face, but it's, if you know, like that's just such a nice touch in those kind of moments. So that was really nice. But we got to talk about who I think stole the movie, and it's Jack Black. Look, I've always been a Jack Black mark. I love him. I think he's one of the funniest people in the world. He's incredibly talented. I think he's incredibly underrated in terms of his talent, and they utilize his musical talent for Bowser. And I'm not going to give much away, but like musical Bowser is peak Bowser. Like it only works because it's Jack Black. So go in there ready to have a good time with musical Bowser, because it steals the whole movie. Also, really was not expecting this part, but the best I want to say joke of the whole movie was Lumily. And if you don't want spoilers, you better click away right now. But Lumily being like a psychotic, morbid, Edgar Allan Poe fan thing, that really longed for the sweet embrace of death. that joke was so funny and like messed up, but it never pushed it like too far. I think it was so like I would let my daughter watch it like easily. But that was a really funny joke. There was a whole big part of the movie that was focused on Mario Kart, and Mario Kart for me, like that's how my wife got into gaming. Well, I say got into gaming. If you've seen the video, you know she's not a gamer, but there was a period of time in our marriage, in our family life, where she was playing video games, and she'll still play Mario Kart with us. But it's like the only video game that really my wife and I connect on. So that was like special to me, and like the way they did the whole Mario Kart section was really special. I don't want to ruin anything because I think it's something you have to experience for yourself, but kind of going like a Mad Max route. And the whole, if you've seen it before already, you know what I'm talking about. Like the whole section with the blue shell, like incredible. Like I could not have imagined that going any better than it did. So that was awesome. I think that the relationship between Mario and Donkey Kong was really well developed, because as we know, like back in the day when Donkey Kong had his own game, Mario was like the protagonist, Donkey Kong was the antagonist, and so you had to save this princess, and they kind of play on like that dynamic between the two in the movie, and the relationship it builds to this moment where they're fighting together through enemies, and it was incredible. And really, like, what really sold this movie on like those key moments was the score. Now, here's my other knock on the movie, and it actually does come down to the score, but it's probably not what you think. So all of the music and the way that they presented it in terms of like Nintendo recognizable scores and songs and making it really orchestral, like that was really good. But they did some like 1980s rock music and like some Beastie Boys and I love all that music, but dude, it did not fit for the moments they were going for. Like it really took me out of those moments. And so I think, and it kind of jumbled the pacing a little bit. I really think this movie should have been a little bit longer, like an extra 15 minutes, and we should have gotten a little bit more just interactions between certain characters, because when we got to the end, it felt really like, oh, we're here already. That's weird. That happened really fast. So I think that like between the pacing of not just like those moments, but like the overall structure of the movie being 90 minutes and feeling like they were cramming too much in, and then add in like this 1980s rock music that like takes you out of those moments. It was 90 minutes. I felt like they packed too much in, and I was still like, oh my gosh, we're there. And at the same time, like, are we there yet with certain moments? You never want to feel that way with a movie that's that short and one that you're so excited for. There were a few really cool moments at the end, and I'm not going to go into them because even though I'm happy to be a little spoilery, I really want you to see the movie, and I think the ending is really cool, and it's something I can't do justice by explaining it. But Mario and Luigi coming back together, well, there's a spoiler right there for you. Coming back together at the end of the movie after being separated for most of the movie was really powerful. And like the story of like their lives in the real world and what they go through in the Mushroom Kingdom and the Jungle Kingdom and everything in between, and then coming back to the real world together to like take down Bowser. It was so well orchestrated. And I think it was the right way to end it. Like, even though they added a lot in here, they left a lot out. Like, there's so many ways and places they could have taken this. And the Mario lore is so massive that I think there will be sequels. I'm going to tell you right now, if you're like, oh, I can't believe they made this movie, get ready, because there's going to be at least one, maybe two more sequels. There are post-credit scenes. There's a mid-credit scene, and then there is a post-credit scene. So make sure if you go to stay for the whole credits. And I'm excited, man. Like the things that they did in this movie that showed you the attention to detail that they were willing to put in, and the love that they have for Mario, and the love that they have for the characters in the world, and just Nintendo in general. I mean, Miyamoto, like he was name dropped early on, like in the credits, before the movie even started. So the heart of it's there. And if you're worried about it not having the heart that you would expect Mario to have, I can assure you, man, like this movie, it's amazing. It's an 8 out of 10. It's easy 8 out of 10. I don't know if I go much higher than that because there's some better stuff out there in the video game movie adaptation world, but like it's the most fun you're going to have with a video game movie. I truly believe that. And I think that it sets a really good foundation for what's to come. You know, we have talks of stuff like the Legend of Zelda series coming out, possibly Gears of War movie, God of War series. I think The Last of Us was incredible. I'm not going to do a review on Last of Us, but I'll tell you right now, it's a 10 out of 10 for me, easy across the board. Every episode was perfect. It was what it needed to be. My wife, who never played Last of Us, never will play Last of Us, watched The Last of Us and got real excited to watch it with me. And every Sunday, just about, we were there and we're catching up, and she gives it a 10 out of 10 as well. So I mean, like, we're heading in the right direction with these adaptations from video games to movies and series. But Mario is up there, man. It's in the top tier. 8 out of 10, easy. Take your kids, take your friends, take yourself. I saw it by myself, and man, I had such a blast. It's definitely worth it. And go into it just wanting to have fun. If you go into it wanting to have fun, I guarantee you will come away very happy with the experience. Hey guys, if you like this video, please give it a like. Comment down below if you've seen the movie already, or if you're going to go see it, if you got tickets already purchased. We're going to be doing some Legend of Zelda unboxing stuff coming up here very soon. We are still playing Resident Evil 4. I haven't had a chance to play it since the initial video, just due to life. But I am looking forward to playing some more of it this weekend. So make sure that you are subscribed to the channel for all the stuff we have coming up. We are going to do an unboxing of the OLED Switch for Zelda and the collector's edition and the controller. And well, I don't know if I'll open the amiibos, but we'll see. A lot of stuff coming out pretty soon, guys. Check out our shorts. We've been doing a lot of shorts like every day. And those have been really fun. And so, yeah, there's been some variety. There's been some video games. There's been some pro wrestling. We're just doing all the things we like. So, if that stuff interests you, make sure you go check out our shorts. Thank you so much for your time, guys. I appreciate all the love and support, and I will see you guys very soon with the new camera.